Hi, I'm AJ Hogue, the author of Effortless English, Learn to Speak English Like a Native. And this is the Learn Real English Pronunciation Webinar. Welcome. Tonight for me, we're going to talk about pronunciation and talk about a couple techniques you can learn and use to improve your English pronunciation. Now, pronunciation is very important. I'll give you an example from my own life about some of the problems that you can have if your pronunciation is not very good. I was living in Thailand several years ago, and I lived in this neighborhood called Bang Yikan. And when I first moved to Bangkok, I started taking some Thai lessons, Thai language lessons. But the school where I was taking the lessons was in downtown Bangkok. But my apartment was not. My apartment was near the river, kind of far away. So each day I needed to take a taxi to school and then take a taxi back to my home, back to my apartment, to my neighborhood. So each day I would go off to school, and I had a little card from the school. So I could just show them, I showed them on a piece of paper, where the school was, the school's card. So it's quite easy to get to the school. Unfortunately, however, when I wanted to come home in the evenings, I would just try to tell the taxi driver the name of my neighborhood, just one word. So I would say, get into the taxi, get in. Of course, taxi looks back at me, and I would say, Bang Yikan. And the first time I did it, what happened? The taxi driver said, huh? And I said, Bang Yikan. And the taxi driver shook his head, Mai Khao Jai. It means I don't understand in Thai. So I said, I was like, oh man, I'm not pronouncing this right. So I said, Bang Yikan. I tried to change it. And the taxi, huh? So Bang Yikan. Huh? Bang Yikan. Huh? Bang Yikan. Huh? Nothing. So I'm saying it every way possible I can think of. So finally, I just have to tell him the nearest kind of tourist place that I know he will understand, which was Khao San Road. They're used to foreign people saying Khao San Road. They're used to the terrible pronunciation. They understand it. So I would just say, okay, Khao San Road. So they would drive me to Khao San Road, and then I would have to walk home, and it was kind of not a super long walk, but it was not convenient. I had to walk across this bridge, go across the river. It would have been much easier if I could just go to my own neighborhood. So then the next day after school, same thing. I try it. I get in. I say the name of my neighborhood. Bang Yikan. Oh, same thing again. 3, 4, 5, 6 times I try saying the name, pronouncing the name just of this one word, my neighborhood. Guy couldn't understand me. So again, all right, Khao San Road. Oh, okay. And so, it drives me to Khao San Road. Again, I have this long walk home. Super frustrating. This same thing repeated again, the same situation. Repeated again and again and again and again. Day after day. Anytime I wanted to take a taxi back to my home from anywhere, from the school or from anywhere else in the city. Of course, I asked Thai people, my Thai friends, how do I pronounce this? I'm pronouncing it wrong. And they said, Bang Yikan. I said, okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that. But obviously I wasn't, right? So it took about a month, like over 30 days, until finally one time I got in the taxi. I thought, okay, I'll try again, Bang Yikan. And the taxi driver, oh, okay. And took me straight to my neighborhood and home. Ta-da! Victory! One Thai word pronounced correctly. Yay! They understood me. He understood me. Of course, the next day I tried it again, and the guy didn't understand. So then for a while, another month or so, sometimes they understood, sometimes they didn't. And eventually, after a few months, I was able to pronounce that one word correctly and usually, reliably, get back home to my own neighborhood. Now, for English speakers, Thai is a very difficult language to pronounce. But it's a good example of just how frustrating pronunciation can be. Because, of course, every time I thought I was pronouncing the word correctly. When Thai people said it to me, I thought I was saying the same pronunciation as them. But clearly, I was not. And this is the tough thing about pronunciation, is that often we can't judge ourselves. We don't know, right? We think we're pronouncing well. We think we're pronouncing correctly, but we're not. We're not. And we know we're not because when we speak to other people, they don't understand us, right? It's that terrible feeling when you speak. I know this happens to you in English sometimes. You speak, you say something, and the other person says, huh? Huh? They get that face like they have no idea what you said. And then it's very frustrating. It's even more frustrating when you try again and again. So you repeat again, and they still don't understand. And then you repeat again, they still don't understand. And then you just want to quit, right? Forget it. I just need to quit. This is terrible. I think it's especially frustrating and difficult for advanced speakers. Now, I was a super low Thai level speaker and still am. So it didn't surprise me really that my pronunciation was bad, not a surprise. I was just learning a few phrases. But sadly, as an English teacher, as an English coach, I have met a lot of advanced English learners with terrible pronunciation, unfortunately. Now, by advanced, I mean they get good scores on tests. They have a lot of grammar knowledge. Maybe even their listening, their understanding is good. They can read well. Maybe they can even write well. When they speak, maybe their grammar is quite good and their vocabulary quite good. But they have this one problem. Their pronunciation's bad. And because of just this one problem, just this one, they can communicate well. Even though they know a lot of words, even though they understand a lot, their grammar's good, all of that, it doesn't matter because when they speak, other people don't understand. They don't understand the pronunciation. And that is so frustrating, especially for an advanced speaker. And they don't know what they're doing wrong. They think they're saying it right, but they're not. So all that knowledge, all that ability is wasted because the pronunciation is bad. And that causes other people to not understand. Big problem. Big problem. So what's the point? The point is pronunciation is important. It's very important. In fact, in some ways, I think pronunciation is more important than grammar. Why? Well, because if you speak with bad grammar, usually people they still understand the meaning. They still understand what you're trying to say. If you say, yesterday, I go home and I hungry, I eat a lot. Okay, so the grammar's bad, right? The verbs are wrong. But the meaning is still completely clear. Completely clear. Right? You went home, you were hungry, you ate a lot of food. Everyone will understand that, even if the grammar is wrong. On the other hand, you can use perfect grammar, but if the pronunciation's bad, if it's not good, the other person will not understand you. You could say, yesterday I and I eat the food and the pronunciation's unclear. The other person will just, huh? What? Huh? They have no idea what you're saying. So pronunciation probably is more important to focus on than grammar for real communication. If you're in school and need tests, that's a different situation. But for real life communication, pronunciation is very, very important. So, obviously, you agree? That's why you're here on the webinar. So your next question is, AJ, how do we improve the pronunciation? Good question. I'm glad you asked that question. I'm going to give you several steps. Now, the first step for, number one, the first step for improving pronunciation is listening. A lot of listening. Why is that important? Well, the reason that's important is to speak correctly, to speak with good pronunciation, you first must be able to hear it. You must be able to hear the sounds, hear the differences. See, my problem in Thai was, and still is actually, that I could not hear the difference. The difference, what Thai people said and what I said, I thought it was the same. It sounded the same to me because my listening was not good enough. But it definitely was not the same. So you have to develop your ear first. To pronounce well, you must hear well, listen well first. Let me give you an example from English. The past tense, the simple past tense, not irregular, just a normal past verb, right? What do? We add ed or the letter D to the end. So we have the word walk. Walk, walk, walk. What's the past of walk? Past. Yesterday, today, right now, I walk. Yesterday, I, say it with me. Yesterday, I walked. Yesterday, I walked. Now, unfortunately, many English learners have a hard time hearing the difference between walk and walked. Because that past form, walked, has just a little bit of a t sound at the end, right? And when we speak quickly, it can be difficult to hear that little t at the end of the word, walked, walked. So I'm exaggerating now, walked, walked. But if I say it quickly, it's kind of a small sound, actually. Walked. Yeah, yesterday I walked to the store. Did you hear it that time? Yesterday I walked to the store. Very, very, very subtle, we say. A very small, subtle sound. Now, for, of course, a native speaker, born speaking English, we hear it. But for a learner, it can be tough to hear those little sounds at the end of words, especially at the end of verbs. And especially when the speaking is quite quick, quite fast. So the point is, to improve your pronunciation, you first need to be able to hear those sounds. You've got to listen really carefully. And of course, I recommend deep listening, meaning repeating the same audios again and again and again and again. For example, if you have one of the Learn Real English lessons, Listen to one of those conversations. Maybe it's Kristen and Joe talking to each other. Don't just listen to it one time. It's not enough. You're not going to hear all those little sounds. In fact, probably you need to listen to that one conversation 20, 30 times just to understand all the words, the vocabulary, to really understand it completely. But your work's not finished. After that, you need to start listening even more carefully to all the small little sounds in the conversation, such as, for example, those little sounds at the end of the verbs that are so important. So you might need to listen to that same conversation 40 times, 50 times, or more. No, not in one day. Maybe you need 2 weeks or 3 weeks to do it. That's fine, but you've got to repeat. And when you listen to the mini story, same thing. In those mini stories, Joe is telling those mini stories in the present, in the past, and in the future. Listen for the changes, the little sounds that change in each version. Listen very, very carefully so you start hearing more and more of the little small sounds in English. That will start to help your pronunciation immediately and automatically. Now, that's not enough. There's more to do. That's the first step. What's the next step? The next step is to notice. This is easy to notice. Notice the pauses in English. When you listen to a conversation, an audio, a story, as you listen to me right now, notice when I pause and when I put words together. Those are the natural phrases of English. The natural phrases of English. One common problem a lot of people have with pronunciation is they use strange phrases. What do I mean? They pause in the wrong places. I'll give you a Japanese example because I'm in Japan right now. So I'm used to hearing Japanese speakers speaking English. And many Japanese, when they speak English, they use the Japanese pausing pattern. So they might say something like this. Hi, my name is AJ. Nice to meet you. What's wrong with that? Each of those words was pronounced correctly. Hi, my name is AJ. Nice to meet you. Each word is pronounced correctly, but it sounds very strange to a native speaker. And by speaking with this strange pattern, these strange pauses, unnatural pauses for English speakers, it can be very difficult for a native speaker, an American, Canadian, British, Australian, very difficult for them to understand because it sounds so unnatural and we're not used to hearing these weird pauses. So how does a native speaker say the same greeting? Hi, my name is AJ. Nice to meet you. Where are the pauses? Pause number one. Hi, pause. Right? The greeting it's a natural, just one word phrase. Not really a phrase, it's one word. My name is AJ. There's actually a little pause in there. My name goes together. Those two words are pushed together. They're connected. My name. And then is AJ, also connected, those two words. And there's a very short pause between them. Hi, my name is AJ. It might be difficult to hear that little small pause, but it's there. This is why you got to listen a lot to hear those little small pauses too. And then again, a long pause. Hi, my name is AJ. Longer pause. Nice to meet you. Again, there's a little pause in there. Nice. And then a short little tiny pause. To meet you. To meet you. Those three words are all pushed together. No pause, really. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. It's kind of a beat. You can almost do it like a drum. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. That's a natural rhythm. If we talk about music, rhythm, that's a natural English rhythm. Nice to meet you, da, 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 da. Nice to meet you is an unnatural English rhythm. So, as step 2, I want you to focus on rhythm. Right? Don't focus first on those little sounds you can't say. Everybody wants to focus on the sound that is difficult for them. Some people it's TH, th, like the or thanks. Some people it's R and L, la 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 la, or red and lead, those two words. Everyone has their little sounds that are difficult, and they want to focus on that first. But that's not most important. Those individual sounds, that's much later. Don't worry about that. That's not really the big problem. People will still understand you if you just have those little sound problems, usually. But when your pauses are weird, when your rhythm is strange, then a lot of people will have a problem understanding you. They won't understand you. You've got to focus on the rhythm first. So when you listen, I want you to focus on the rhythm. See how I just said that? Focus on the rhythm. Focus on the rhythm. Da, 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 da. Right? That's a rhythm. Like music, like playing the drums or something. Ba, 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 ba. You have to learn to hear that rhythm, and then you need to practice it and use it. Step number 3, practice the rhythm. How do you do that? It's easy. You've got audios. Simple, simple. You have a rewind button. So it's easy. What do? Find some audio that you like. Pick an English speaker that you like. You like their voice. You like the way they speak. It could be me. It might be Joe. It might be Kristen. It could be someone famous. I don't know, Clint Eastwood, Tom Cruise, Sandra Bullock. Doesn't matter. And find a little audio. Even better, find a video. And just play each sentence and then pause. Just one sentence. One only. So you pause and you listen. Of course, you're listening very carefully to the rhythm of that one sentence. Of that one sentence. Da, 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 da. Hear it? Then what do? Then you say the sentence yourself, copying, imitating the speaker, especially the rhythm. Pause when they pause. Put the words together that they put together, the same words. And you might rewind and do this a few times with one sentence. Then go to the next sentence. Again, listening for the rhythm, the pauses. Which words get pushed together? Which words or phrases have small pauses? And which ones have big, long pauses? Listen to it a couple times, then go back and then imitate, copy exactly the speaker's rhythm. Copy exactly the speaker's rhythm. You can hear it as I'm talking to you right now. You can be listening to my rhythm right now. Notice when I pause. Notice which words go together quickly. Go together quickly. You hear it? All right. Now, an important technique as you do this is to exaggerate. It means do it even stronger than the speaker. See, I know when we learn a new language or we're speaking a different language, we feel a little shy, we feel a little weird. So we're kind of almost afraid to really copy the speaker. So the solution is to exaggerate, to do it even more than the speaker. If the speaker has a long pause, make yours even longer. If the speaker puts 3 words together, you put them together even faster. Exaggerate the rhythm. Make it stronger, even more than the native speaker. You will think, when you hear yourself, you'll think that you're doing it too much. You think, oh, this is too much. I'm exaggerating too much. I'm doing this too strongly. But the truth is, probably you still won't be doing it enough. It's just because we can't quite hear it. It's just natural. Now, the next step after this, you're going to do this for many days. You can use the same exact audio, just sentence by sentence, only focused on the rhythm. Focusing on the rhythm again and again. Maybe do this for a month, 2 months, exaggerating. Then, when you're ready, when you feel less shy, you think you're ready, you'll add another step. You're going to record yourself as you do this. So you get a recorder. It can be a little recorder. It could be something on your phone or your computer. Doesn't matter. And then you do exactly the same thing. Play one sentence from the speaker, and then you copy it, speaking loudly, exaggerating, copying the rhythm of the speaker. Play the next sentence, then you copy it, speaking loudly, and the next, and the next, and the next. And you're recording yourself as you do this. Do this for maybe 30 minutes, 20 minutes, up to you. Then stop the recording. And then the fun part. Then, of course, rewind both audios. And then first play maybe 1 minute of the original audio, the native speaker. Then pause it. Then play 1 minute of your audio, your practice, and compare. Listen carefully. How close are you? How close is your rhythm, your pronunciation, to the native speaker? Now, let me warn you, probably this is going to be painful because probably you will realize, oh my God, I sound terrible still. I don't sound like the native speaker. If your listening has improved, you will realize it's not so close, but that's good. That's good. When you can hear the difference, then you can improve. That's great. Get a little water here. So it's really, really, really good to compare your speaking on a recording to a native speaker and to hear the difference. That will help you improve. So, excellent. You don't have to do that every day, recording yourself. Maybe do that once a week. So continue practicing every day. And then once a week, record yourself and compare. And then again, every day, practicing. And then once a week, record yourself again. What you will notice that your pronunciation will get better and better. Little by little, it will improve. It will sound closer to the native speaker, which is what you want, of course. Now, we actually have a chat here in our webinar. We have a lot of people on this call. The chat's going very fast, but I'll try to answer a few of your questions here. And we'll come back and I'll talk about a few more techniques to use when improving your pronunciation. Also talk about our Advanced Conversation Club for Learn Real English. In fact, I'll go ahead and show you that now. All right, let's go to the chat. All right, on our chat, let's see. Okay, let's see. What are the questions we have on our chat? Blah, 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 going quickly. Okay, well, Jane says, if I record myself speaking and then I listen, I start to laugh. Exactly. This is exactly as I said. You will sound funny. You probably will. Some people feel pain. They think, oh my God, I sound terrible. And it's kind of a painful feeling. Jane, I think, has a more positive attitude. She just laughs. Oh my God, I sound so funny. I don't sound like the native speaker. It's okay, of course, of course. That's why you're learning. It's why you're improving. So don't get upset that you sound very different. Be happy you can hear the difference. Be happy you hear yourself and that you know that you sound funny, because that's the first step to improve. So don't get upset. It's okay. Do this with a kind of a happy attitude. You know, not, oh, I must do it. Do it with a happy attitude and you'll get better results. All right, let's keep going. So many questions. Good Lord, so many chats here. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Okay, AJ, I did not study reading English this week because I have a big test. Whoa, going too fast. But I do listening 2 hours every day. Will that be bad? No, it's not bad. Listening, I'd say listening is number one. So if you only have limited time, you only have a couple hours, listen. And if you have extra time, also read when you can. Sure, reading is great, but it's sort of the second thing to do. Number one, most important, is listening. And then when you have extra time, reading is also great. All right, let's go back to our chat here. It's a little hard for me to answer your chats because they're coming too fast. There's so many people and it's coming so quickly. So I'll do my best. Let's go back and let's talk a little more about some techniques for improving your pronunciation. So we talked about the pattern, the rhythm, the rhythm, pausing, and when do we speak quickly? Which words go together? Where do we put the long pauses? Where do we get the short pauses? Can you hear those little short pauses? They're in there, sometimes hard to hear. Now there's one more element to pronunciation that's very important, more than, again, the individual sounds. And that is the intonation. Rhythm is part of it, but another part of it is the up and the down. When we stress a word and when we don't. So it's the music, right? Music has different parts. If someone's singing, there's the rhythm. The rhythm you can usually do with a drum, clapping, something like that. The pauses and the parts that go together quickly. But the other part of it is the up and the down, right? It's when a singer goes, oh, right? That's the tone. Rising and falling, rising and falling. Every language has a kind of tone as well. And this is the second thing you're going to have to practice. First, you got to hear it. First, you must hear it. And then you need to practice it. So you might focus on the rhythm for 3 months, 4 months, or more, up to you. And then when you feel the rhythm is good, you feel your speaking rhythm is quite good, then you're ready to add the up and the down. And you repeat the whole step-by-step process again. First, listening. So playing a sentence and listening. When does the speaker go up? When does their voice go up, up, up? And when does it go down? When does it go down? Again, sometimes this can be difficult to hear, especially with a native speaker, especially when someone is speaking quickly. But it's there. They're not so exaggerated with native speakers sometimes. They're going up a little and they're going down a little. Or sometimes they're getting a little louder on one part and a little quieter on others. So again, you're going to listen, maybe 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, just listening carefully to hear when the speaker goes up and when down, when up, when down, sentence by sentence. And then, of course, when you're ready, the next step, you will copy them, play the sentence. Then you copy their speaking. Of course, copy the rhythm, but now also copy the tone. Copy when they go up and when they go down. Hearing it and copying it. Hearing it and copying it. Then to the next sentence, the next, again. Maybe 30 minutes every day. And then you know the final step. You'll do that a couple months, and then finally you're going to record yourself again. Did you hear that? Again. Here I went up. You're going to record yourself again. Duh, duh, and then I jumped up. Listen carefully for these things. You'll record yourself again, copying the intonation, copying the tone. And of course, again, you will listen to the native speaker, pause, then listen to yourself. Compare. How close are you? Again, probably painful or maybe funny. It's okay. Laugh if you need to, and then keep going. Listen for another minute to the native speaker, then listen to yourself. How close are you? What is different about your speaking? Then again, practicing every day for 1 week. Record yourself once a week. And you probably need to do this for several more months. Now, final point, a final tip for you about this. I mentioned exaggeration, very important, meaning doing it even more strongly than necessary, making it super strong. One problem people have with pronunciation is they feel weird about talking like a native speaker. Like they feel like they're acting like a different person. Like, oh, that's not how I speak. This sounds strange. I'm a Spanish speaker and I speak a certain way, or I'm Japanese and I speak a certain way. So using another pronunciation feels strange. It's kind of an emotional problem sometimes. And so what I recommend is that you think of yourself as a different character. Think of yourself as an actor when you speak English. You're not your normal self. You're a new character. Now, what I recommend is actually choose your favorite actor and copy them. Use the techniques I just told you, but you can do it with a video instead of an audio. So actually watch one little piece of their movie when they're talking a lot. And then, pause, copy them, pause, copy them, record yourself, compare. All the same techniques, but using your favorite actor or actress. Now, as the final step, I want you to also copy not only their pronunciation, but also their face. Copy how they use their face. Because this is also different with different languages. Italians are famous, for example, of being very expressive, right? Using their face a lot. Not all Italians are like that, but many are. Many Americans are also like that. We can be very expressive with our faces, using big expressions. And actually, by copying that, it will help your pronunciation. It's strange, but it's true. It will help. Now, on the other hand, some cultures, for example, Japan, they do not use their face so much when they speak. There's a little more controlled with their facial expressions. So if you were learning Japanese, you would want to copy how a Japanese person uses their face. See, by copying the face, you will naturally copy the emotion, and that will affect your pronunciation. It's a little mental trick, and it works. Now, in addition to copying the face, also copy the movements, how they use their hands and their body. That's why using video is great. So you watch this part of a movie with your favorite actor, let's say it's Tom Cruise, and you try to speak exactly like Tom Cruise. Same rhythm, same tone up and down, same emotion. And then at the advanced level, you also try to use your face, the same expressions, the same facial movements as Tom Cruise in that movie scene, in that part of the movie. So if he's angry and he goes, "Ah, I'm really angry right now," you copy how he says it, but copy this too. And if he uses his hands, "I'm really angry right now," you copy, the fist, you copy the movement, you copy all of it. You're pretending that you are an actor. You are also an actor, and your character, your part, is the person in that movie. This is your English speaking character. That's why I want you to choose an actor or a real person that has a personality, a style that you like, that fits you. Right? There's so many movies, so many actors and actresses. You can find one that fits you, that is a native speaker, an American or a British person or an Australian. If you like the way I speak, you like my style, great, copy me. If you like Joe, you prefer Joe's style, copy Joe. If you prefer Kristen, use Kristen. Or maybe you prefer Sandra Bullock or Julia Roberts or Clint Eastwood and you want to talk like a tough guy. And that's okay. When you speak English, you're going to sound tough, just like Clint Eastwood. Yeah. It's fine. Choose someone that you want to sound like and be like when you speak English. You'll never sound exactly like them, probably. That's okay. But by copying them, by pretending you are them, you will make a big, huge improvement with your English pronunciation. These techniques are powerful. You have to do this every day. It requires some work. It does require daily work, definitely. But this can be fun, right? You can do this with two attitudes, in two ways, with two emotions. One, you could do it very seriously and make yourself feel very stressed. I must pronounce more correctly. I must practice my pronunciation. This is work. Now, of course, with that feeling, it's not going to be fun and maybe difficult to do every day. But you could look at it like a game, like, hey, this is fun. I'm going to pretend to be Clint Eastwood. And when I talk, I'm going to sound like Clint. And I'm going to speak English like a really tough guy. And when I speak English, I'll be strong. Yeah. Right? It could be really fun. You could make it a game. Or you could say, I'm going to talk like AJ and be really crazy and use my face a lot and speak loudly and move my hands around a lot. Ah! Or you could be like Jim Carrey. Doesn't matter. Or you could be romantic. Doesn't matter. Pick who you like. But make it a game. Make it fun. And when you record yourself and you play the recording again to yourself and listen, and it sounds different, don't be upset. Oh, I'm terrible. This is terrible. Just laugh. Oh, I need to improve more. It's okay. No big deal. Relax and enjoy. And then go back and keep doing it every day, 20 or 30 minutes every day, practicing. It'll take a few months. So what? Enjoy it. But the result, the end result, you will begin to sound like a native speaker. People will understand everything you say. Sometimes people might say, oh, are you from Canada? Are you, where are you from? They might actually think you're from an English-speaking country. Like if you're in America, they might think you're British or Scottish or Australian or something, maybe. Maybe they might not be quite sure, but they might actually think you come from an English-speaking country, that you are a native speaker. That is the end result when you use all of these techniques daily with a lot of energy, with a lot of fun. It works, it works, it works. Do it every day. All right. Last, I just want to tell you about our Advanced Conversation Club at Learn Real English, because we are adding pronunciation lessons to our Advanced Conversation Club. The Advanced Conversation Club, that's our monthly membership. It's really for our most motivated members. People who really want to speak like a native speaker. They have high goals. They really want to speak very, very well. So very motivated. That's who the Advanced Conversation Club, ACC, that's who it's for. If that's you, great, please join. Now, we realize that pronunciation is important and it does require constant daily practice. And that's why we are adding pronunciation lessons to ACC, to the Advanced Conversation Club. That's not starting now. That will start in a few months. We're recording new lessons in a few months in San Francisco. And when we record the new ACC lessons, the new Conversation Club lessons, we're going to add pronunciation lessons every single month. So as a member, you will get a new pronunciation lesson every single month. Month by month, you'll improve your pronunciation. I think on the side here, you can see there's like a little button that says join the Advanced Conversation Club. It's $1 to try it for 10 days. After that, it's $37 per month if you continue. But you can cancel. Just send an email if you want to cancel after 10 days or before 10 days. Send an email. So we want you to try it. So that's why we make it only $1, so you can see if you like it. I think you will like it. Every month you get 2 full modules of lessons that include a conversation, a couple of mini stories, point of view stories, several videos, commentaries. And then, as I said, in a few months, also you will get pronunciation lessons as well. So you can click that little button that says show me more, and that'll go to our Learn Real English website. And you can try the Advanced Conversation Club. Please try it. That's all. If you have any questions, go to my Twitter. My Twitter is AJ Hoge. So it's twitter.com/my name /AJHOGE. Twitter.com/AJHOGE. I'm on there almost every day when I'm not traveling, and I'm happy to answer your questions on Twitter. So if you have some questions now about the Advanced Conversation Club, about pronunciation, about anything, go to Twitter. I'm going to Twitter right now. I'll stay on Twitter for maybe 30 minutes and answer questions. So go over to Twitter now. It's just twitter.com/AJHOGE, AJ Hoge. I'll see you on Twitter. Join our Advanced Conversation Club. Try it for just $1 now. Click the yellow button, and I'll see you there. Have a great day. Good luck with your pronunciation. Bye for now.